What's up, everyone? I'm Smashley, and I have a little bit of a drive right now, so just come along for a ride and chit-chat with me. If you are new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. On this channel, we talk all things spiritual awakening, the light and the dark, so we can become aware and integrate, because that's necessary to become the version of you that can live out your infinite potential. And if you see this building that I'm driving by right here, going to that building, it is a psychiatric hospital. That changed my life. The last time I attempted to unalive myself, I ended up at that building. I'm in the hood. If you can look at the background, you'll see the hood of Detroit. And, yeah. Anyway, I don't know why I wanted to get on here and make a video, because I'm driving around this neighborhood and, you know, it's so awesome to not be triggered into like past patterns of like, I used to be a drug addict and I used to be mentally ill, so that's how I ended up in there, and that psych ward, which was a whole experience in itself. But yeah, like, you know what, there are times when I talk about my past and my drug use and the things I used to do, and people will be like, oh, it sounds like you're glorifying drug use in your past and I just think it's funny. Like, I'm not ashamed of my past, and I look back on it like, God, I can't believe I lived through that, first of all. But it's the human experience. It's exciting. I don't know, to me, like, having a normal, like, cookie cutter life would be boring. And I'm sure I have other lives where I have cookie cutter lives, but like, my little human in this life, she used to be a wild child, and yeah. But obviously I'm at a point in my life, in my recovery, in my awakening process, where I really don't think there's anything that could lead me back into drugs or alcohol, just because I have done so much of the emotional work. The reason why people relapse is because, or the reason why people use drugs in the first place is because of how much dense energy we have stuck in our body from repressed emotions. And you need heavy substances to keep that within. And so a lot of people will quit using drugs or alcohol, and they'll pick up some other distraction tool that's not as strong as drugs or alcohol, and it'll last for a little while. Like, it'll help the energy stay in your system so you don't have to face your emotions for a little while. But then it's gonna start coming out, and you're gonna either need to face it or go back to drugs and alcohol. And that's when people relapse, because they are still not wanting to face their emotional energy. And it's just energy. They're just emotions. Like, this is an energy hologram, and it's not even real. So once you get to a more expanded state of consciousness, your emotions won't have this huge attachment to your emotional reactions to things. You'll just be like, oh, I'm triggered, let me go process. Oh, I'm triggered, let me go process. Like, it's not a big deal. And it can make you seem like you don't have empathy or something, that you don't have compassion for people that are having huge emotional reactions to things, but it's just like, you know, they're lost in the illusion. If you're having a huge emotional reaction to something, you are lost in the illusion. We have to remember who we are. You are the creator. Through the human perspective, you are a co-creator, right? So it depending on where your consciousness lies, but you have to remember that you created this game, okay? It's just a game. You created it. You came to experience the full variety of human emotions and human experiences. There is no right or wrong. It's all here. It's all here for us to choose to hand select the different experiences we like to have. And ultimately, that's what the whole reincarnation process is to go through all the different human experiences and create, you know, through the process, you're like developing this ultimate dream reality. Like, I like this experience, I don't like that experience. I like this experience, I don't like that experience. Okay, so now when I unlock my infinite potential, I know exactly what I want to feel and what I don't want to experience. And when you get on your divine path, the life of your ascension, when you awaken within the dream, within the illusion, and you remember who you are, you remember how reality creation works, you remember that emotions are just energy in motion. We process and release. We follow our intuition. And one divine step at a time, you are guided to different experiences where you'll have the emotional trigger, but now we're self-aware, right? Now we understand how reality creation works. So we process and release. We don't get lost in the story most of the time. You can get lost in the story for a little bit along this journey. I almost got lost in the story today. And then I was like, no, this experience is manifesting in the screen of my consciousness for a reason. It's showing me something. I hand selected this experience to reflect back to me what's preventing me from getting in alignment with the truth of who I really am, to unlock my infinite potential. And then once you understand that, you have no resentment against the people who have delivered you experiences that were unpleasant, things that might have triggered you emotionally, and you won't hold judgment against people that are out there doing wrong or doing bad or harming others. But I will say that there is a very select, limited collective consciousness within the chosen one oversoul that is here for the darkest of the dark, baby. Ooh, I just got chills when I said that. There is a very limited number of us that can handle standing in the face of the most evil, sadistic things that go on this planet and alchemize those demons into the light. And that is the mission of this very small collective of people who can look at these people from a place of non-judgment and know that they're God. They're God incarnated, just having a human experience. And yeah, there's not very many people that are going to be able to do that with certain groups of people, you know. And we're going to see who these people are, okay? I don't know if it's going to be like this big mass global thing where everyone knows what's going on, or if it's just going to happen behind the scenes. Well, I guess we'll see. But the truth is coming to the light. We already have seen a lot of what's coming out about what's going on with the elites and all the cults and everything going on in the mass collective there. That's all demons, baby. They're summoning demons, okay? So how are those demons going to get into the light? Other than this very small select group of chosen ones who came here to alchemize the darkness into the light, who can stand in the face of these evils, and not be like, oh, they're victimizing. I don't know. It's a different mentality when you get to a certain state of consciousness and you understand that everyone is choosing their experiences for a reason. And all the victims in this life are experiencing karma that they wanted to experience. When it's hard through the human perspective to understand why you would want to take on such negative experiences. But when you're playing a game and you understand this is just a game, and part of the game is experiencing your karma so that you can win the game, that's why you want to experience your karma. That's why you choose awful experiences. So you can perceive that experience through the victim perspective to integrate karma. It's part of the game. It's not that serious. But when you're stuck in a lower state of consciousness, it seems like there's so much evil and awful stuff going on in the world. And I know I'm going to lose a lot of people right there. But do you want truth, or do you want to keep playing in the illusion? We can become lucid within the dream and understand what's going on in the illusion. You still play in the illusion from a higher state of consciousness, but you're not lost in the illusion through the human perspective. Okay? So let's not get lost in the illusion through the human perspective and think everything is so serious. And I guess I can correlate this back to like with my past, or using drugs, or like thinking it was a fun time of my life. I'm just like not that person anymore. I haven't been in a long time. So it's like, why would I look back on that and like feel shame? Or like feel worried about people judging me about talking about it. I just don't care. If that's the type of person that you are, to be judgmental of other people because of something that they did in their past, like that's a you problem. That's a you problem. So, yeah. All judgment is an indication of an unintegrated aspect of self in some way, shape, or form. And you could think, oh no, I've never done anything like that. In this life, maybe not. But maybe the underlying, even like go dig a little deeper and get to the underlying theme, you've likely done something like that. Like there was recently something I realized I was judging in someone else, and I was like, I do the same damn thing. A little different, but the same damn thing. Okay, that's why I'm judging them, because I don't accept that behavior in myself. We have to become aware. Everything that manifests on the screen of your consciousness is an indication of an energy blockage or a limiting belief that's preventing you from getting in alignment with the truth of who you really are and unlocking your infinite potential. So, wake up every single day and remind yourself, okay, wait a second. I created this whole game to play. It's just a game. It's not that serious. Emotions are just energy that I need to process. And when I get triggered in the 3D, look at that person and think, oh, thank you very much for delivering me this experience. I'm going to go process that energy so that I can raise my frequency and get in alignment with the truth of who I really am, so that I can unlock my infinite potential and live out that dream reality that you've created through the course of all your incarnations. If you are on your Ascension timeline, baby, that is it. This is the game. We are at the final stages of the game, baby. For these people, if you've awakened within the dream, if you are in an expanded state of consciousness, if you are processing and releasing emotions, if you understand how reality creation works, you are way ahead of the game, okay? Like, there are collectives and collectives of people that are still asleep, these young souls, okay? The old souls are leading the ascension. And 1444 on the timer when I said that. Okay? Trust. You have to trust your intuition. You have to trust that you'll be provided for. You have to trust that the only reason why you're stressing or worried or blaming is because you're lost in the illusion. You are perceiving reality through the human perspective. That's not real. It's not real. It's the unawakened perspective. It's the unawakened mind that perceives victimhood, that perceives judgment, okay? So whenever that's arising in your experience, you have to snap out of it. You have to remind yourself who you are. You are the creator. You created all of this. Creation is finished, okay? And everything, every single thing that appears on the screen of your consciousness is benefiting you, all right? Once you understand how the game works. So don't forget, okay? We have to learn how to use our experiences as a mirror and wake up to the truth of who we really are, the creator of everything. This is all one thing. The separation is an illusion, okay? Everything's already planned out. Even the most evil things that go on here, Earth was created for the darkness. And the collective of people that are going into the darkest of the darkest of the dark, we've been there, baby. We've been there, okay? And we know how to round up those demons because we have a higher spiritual ranking than a lot of them. And get them into the light. So yeah, I guess that's what this video is about. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.